to be having a conversation in around 15 to 20 minutes. But before I start that conversation, I just like to tell you a very small story. Very recently, and I use the word carefully, very recently, if you know Olushola, right? Around 5, 6, 7 years ago, actually described himself as a futurist, like somebody who actually has sufficient information to and five. I think I was in 200 economic students, and I met him very randomly, very unassuming, and just like Jesus met his apostles and said, "Follow me, I'll make you fisher of men," right? The guy was so full of life, full of information, very confident, and he said, I'm going to start an organization on this campus, and the whole of this campus, something amazing is about to happen, and I want you to be part of that. And I was very excited. I'm like, so what is going to happen? A few days later, we had an inauguration. His mentor came from Lokoja. We sat down on the rock, myself, Onoja, and fast forward 20 years later, that's 2005 to date. That's actually 20 years. Fast forward 20 years later, every single thing he said has happened. Right? And for me, that is not chance. That's also not random. It happened because somebody had insight. It's called leverage, information, insight, strategies, process that is so sure that when you run it through a particular trajectory, it's definitely going to give you an expected outcome. So I had the head start, right? I had the head start as a young student because I met him. Some of us had a head start because we met one mentor, one influence or the other in our life, and it made all the difference. So I'm only standing here, and I need to make that acknowledgement because I met KJK in 2005. Right? And I said that to say this because some of you in 10 years' time, some of you in 15 years' time, or in 20 years' time, God keeping us alive, you would look back at this meeting, right? And you would be operating at a level of influence that is not thought possible by somebody of your stature or history or historical background. And then you'll be able to trace that event to a situation like this. I knew the date, I knew the year, right? And it was not a grandiose event. It was not those kind of our big EID where we have paparazzi and all the cameras. No, I just met, it was just a conversation and it changed everything. The very first conversation we had with KJK was mediocrity no more, not me. Sincerely, after that first conversation, I had to go and check dictionary. What's mediocrity? Right? First person to tell me about goal setting, to tell me about purpose discovery, to tell me about, so you can understand, the influence that has had on me. And I want to say a very big thank you to our president and founder, Mr. Olushola, for affording me that kind of opportunity. Right? Yes, this platform I'm standing on the investment of a lot of human beings. And when I talk about investment of human beings, I'm talking about flesh and blood. Right? One of the flesh and blood that made it possible for me to stand here is our immediate past country director, Mr. Olushole. So please let me celebrate him. If you are not jealous, make that your applause very loud. Yes. And then we're having a transition from his presidency or his country directorship to a new. I was very worried. If I called him into a room and I'm like, Uncle, don't abandon us at this time. At the critical stage at which I'm in, right? Because I also know that the hallmark of a successful human being or a leader is that he will have a successor that can carry on, the vision. If you don't have a successor, sincerely, no matter how much successful you are as a leader, you have failed because the vision will die after you. But I want us to celebrate our country director, Mr. Charis Ogee, for making us so proud. In fact, when he has accomplished in less than a year, he has been serving for 5 years, and really, you can't slow him down. He's just too. He's the tech guy. He's the one that will come. Please watch out for his session. My own session is just. His own session is the real deal. You know when they're talking about future of work, we look for tech guy, the ones that wear glasses. Not people like me. So, but essentially, I'm going to be having a conversation with us around the future of work. And I say this because sometimes when we talk about innovation and we talk about technology, we are always thinking machines. We are also always thinking one app, one tool, right? We are thinking artificial intelligence, automation. We are thinking, virtual assistants. We are thinking, machine learning. We are thinking, all of those are very good. And I'm talking about technology, right? And its application to our daily living. Just like the discovery of internet. The day we discovered the internet, we did not know that our life changed. Right? The day internet was discovered and was launched in public, internet has been used by CIA, that's the American military, for a very long time before it became public knowledge. It was a hidden technology. I hope you know that AI did not happen with ChatGPT and Meta AI, right? That AI was in existence at least for about 7 to 10 years now, but it was not public information. Some of the tools, some of you that have used tools like Grammarly, like, those are AI-powered tools. But for us, we just think it was one algorithm that is so sophisticated. And indeed, it's an algorithm that is very sophisticated. Yes, so when we think internet, a revolution already has started. Just like internet started, this new age of industrial revolution has already started. Now, is there anybody in the world now that say, me, I don't want to have anything to do with internet? Right? Now, you also won't say, I don't want to have anything to do all those things they are talking about, online, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. Me, I just want to stay in my own and just do my thing. Sincerely, whether you like it or not, it has happened to you, right? It's like a woman that gets pregnant and says, me, I will continue to wear my skirt. I'll continue to wear my, right? Only time we tell, those skirts will get to a point where it's not going to fit you again. You yourself are saying, I want to maintain this my shape. The shape will now go out of hand, right? But you should prepare for it. If you acknowledge it, if you accommodate it, then you can respond appropriately to it, and then you can leverage on the advantage, that process is about to birth. Fortunately for us, we have the privilege of information. Fortunately also for us, we have the privilege of investment of resources and people, that has consciously curated a trajectory for us so that we are not just responding, with ignorance, we are responding appropriately, not as those who are reactive, but those who actually know where they are going and they are taking the appropriate step to do so. So as a way of introduction, I just want us, please, is my slide ready? Yes. So I just want us to have, just some basic, please, I also need a timekeeper. I realize that if you are actually going to do anything great in this life, you must manage time. So I'm not going to stay 1 minute beyond my time, sincerely. So if my time is 5 minutes, just do me like this, and then I'm going to round up and I'm done. Right, so driving the future of work. So if I'm going to drive innovation and strategic growth in a digital age. Now, before I go into this, I want us to mention that, and that's my starting point. This innovation, right? This digital age is about people, not machines. It's about what? People, not what? Not machines. And I'll tell us the risk associated with what we're about to experience and the benefits associated with what we're about to experience. There is no technology in this world, the one that has been discovered or that will be discovered in the future, that will take the place of a human being. Right? All the problems of this world will still be solved by human beings using technology as a tool. So the day we get into the assumption that the tool is more important than the user of the tool, then we make a fundamental error. I'm saying this because sometimes we jeopardize our interpersonal relationship and friendships, right? And we rely on the fact that we have 1,000 likes on Instagram or on YouTube or on Facebook, right? You post something and then you are monitoring it to see how many likes. I still got into 1,000, right? And then you have 2,000 followers and you are depressed. Jesus, right? And you know the irony, the sad thing that can happen to you is that you have 5,000, a million followers, right? On YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook, and your car broke down at 11:30 p.m. under the bridge. You just carry your phone and say, out of this 1 million, just click on 3 and they will show up. Unfortunately, they will not. The first time my car broke up at 11:30, I called the firm. So all my 1 million followers, where I did. So the day I get into this illusion that the technology is important than the user of the technology, we have missed it. So before we start any conversation around the future of work, can I shock you? The future of work belongs to the people that are able to understand relationship, manage relationship, leverage relationship using technology as a tool. All right. So next slide, please. So I'll start with this introduction. I'm going to be running very fast. So as a way of outline, I'll take an introduction. Sorry, I'm a lecturer, so if this looks like lecture, no apologies. Of course, we're going to look at evolving national and global landscape. I told us earlier that we have opportunities and we have the advantage of leveraging what? Information and resources, right? So I'll tell us some of the things that are changing. Probably not all the things that are changing, but it gives you an insight as to what is happening. So you are not reacting, you are responding, right? Now, strategic positioning. So what can you do? Because most times, and I say it's a no-brainer for you to identify what's not working. Sincerely. I don't need to be an engineer. This morning we were coming now, right? And my wife was like, this guy is not giving you enough pressure. I said, yes, something is wrong with it. Am I an engineer? No. But what to make me an engineer? That I said, wait, you just calm down, give me 5 minutes, and I'll come down, I'll open this thing, and I'll fix it, right? And then the thing will start giving us all the power. Hey, now I'm an engineer, so I can't pride myself in being an engineer that I knew that there was a problem. Everybody knew that the Nigeria economy is not working. Oh, things are bad. Oh, right? It is very easy to identify the problem because if you see anybody that is not properly dressed now, you don't need to be fashionista. You just know, say, that is color is bent. That is this thing. Everybody can identify the problem. So if anybody wants to tell you, is there any problem? Yes. What makes the difference is that you have the information, you have the resources, you have the strategy to ensure that you are able to not just solve the problem, but you position yourself as the one that provides the solution to complex problems, and then you become indispensable. All right. And then we take question and answer, and then I'll share my concluding remarks and we'll be done. Next slide. All right, next. As a way of introduction, let me just show you a few things. Next. Okay. All right. So the future of work in Nigeria is undergoing a rapid transformation. I'm using Nigeria as a context for me, right? But this is a global phenomenon. This seminar that we're having, the future of work, as we're having it here now, is concurrently going to be holding in Lokoja, in Jos, and across several other platforms. So I'm very intentional about my situating this within the context of your own immediate environment, right? But trust me, this is a global phenomenon. So the future of work is undergoing rapid transformation due to things that I color-coded, right? One of it is what? Technological what? Advancements. And then we have the other one, globalization, right? Now the technological advancements include virtual reality, assisted reality, induced reality, upgraded reality. Now we don't even know what is real and what is not real again, sincerely. You can have a music video now, Mr. Effect can become a rap artist, and he's dancing all the dance and he did not leave this place. Right? So we don't even know what is reality from what is not reality again, but there's technological advancement, whether you acknowledge it or not, it's a reality that has happened. It's not about to happen. So that changes the way we do things. Secondly, there's globalization. So your competitors are not in Nigeria and they are not in Wuse. They are not in Maitama or in Asokoro, right? Every human being here now has a global field as his territory, as his jurisdiction, as his scope of horizon. So there's no that issue of say, oh, me, as far as I'm in that Magmari, I'm fine. No. Because sincerely, if you are going to be relevant in the 21st century environment, you must acknowledge that the world has become borderless. So globalization is in the context of borderlessness. There is no such thing as a boundary again. And I'll give a personal instance later. All right, and we have demographic shifts. Now, let me situate that within the context of Nigeria, right? I'm going to share data just to back this up. So this is not some sentiment I'm trying to read up. But then, Nigeria's population's dynamics is changing so rapidly that we have more young people within the workforce than we have middle age and an older population, and that changes everything. Somebody, I attended the seminar and somebody said, this previous generation, they are a lost generation. And I stood up and I raised up my left hand, right? And I'm like, sorry, I want to respond to that comment you made. And I'm talking to a professor and I told him, if you say this is a lost generation, that means we are a lost society, because the society as we live in, it belongs to these guys. So it's not enough, and I say it's a no-brainer to identify that things are not done correctly, right? But really, an acknowledgement of the fact that things are not working is not a solution. You need to be able to devise a way to work around it. So these are shifts that are taking place. We also have the socio-economic change. Now, while this development represent opportunities for growth and productivity enhancement, they also pose significant challenges that must be what? That must be addressed. Next slide. All right, so I have to work with the speed of light now. Okay, so here are some of the key issues. Next. Okay, now, so one of the key global trends now that, you should pay attention to is the fact that in Nigeria currently, there's a crisis. If you like, call it fire on the mountain. And I said it's a no-brainer. Everybody knows this. There's a mismatch between workforce skills and industry demand. So there's a mutually reinforcing frustration. I call it mutually reinforcing frustration because we have two people, two personalities, two parties involved in a relationship. Both of them are not happy. If one person is happy, the other person is having fun, right? It's not having fun. You say it's oppression, right? But you're not happy, I'm not happy, and both of us are not okay with the situation, but we can't change the situation. So as my frustration is venting so much, I'm also deepening your own frustration because we are mutually cancelling each other out. So we call it mutually reinforcing what? Frustration. That was what happened in the labor market in Nigeria. You have this huge gap. There's a lot of employers now that are looking for skilled manpower, reliable, dedicated manpower with integrity and skill and competence. So you have this huge gap and they are lamenting. On the other hand, Nigerian university churn out graduates in hundreds of thousands, and this is me being modest in my data analysis. In hundreds of thousands, we have graduates with first class, second class offer. Now, added to the list is every convocation ceremony. Now, you have people there are hundreds graduating with masters and PhD, right? And then we churn them into that job market and we call them unemployed. So where is that's mutually reinforcing now. There's a guy that wants to work. He has gone to school. He has acquired what is term skill, right? But he's not able to fit into the job market because the job market also can't see him as the guy they are looking for. All right, so Nigeria has this, growing youth population, yet high unemployment rate that persists due to inadequate skills acquisition and outdated educational system that does not align with evolving labor market requirements. And let me just mention this according to World Bank, so these are not my words. Now, but beyond that, in 2006, 2007, we conducted a survey, just a mini survey at the real platform among final year students, and we asked them just one simple question. After graduation, what are you going to be doing? Sincerely, 90% of the respondents didn't know what they would do with their life after they graduate from school. So we started what we call the Future Focus Seminar, just to be able to at least help people position themselves so that when they leave university, they don't join that pool of jobless people. Now, many graduates lack digital literacy, problem-solving capacity, and technical expertise, making them unprepared for employment in emerging sectors such as artificial intelligence, fintech, data science, etc. Now, so these are real issues that we have to deal with as a country. Now, I'm talking about identifying the problem. Okay, all right. So, next slide, please. All right, the second problem, and I'm not going into the detail of this, increasing automation and adoption of AI threaten traditional employment models. Let me shock you. I took my wife to, is it GT Bank? And that was not this year, probably last year. I think our ATM expired or something. So we were supposed to go to bank to go and collect another ATM. But then we went to that GC Bank in Guaripa on a Sunday evening. And then we entered the place. What is Sunday? I shall know that we entered the place. We went after the place and we were supposed to expecting them to direct us to go to customer care the traditional way. Now they tell you to sit down, you fill a form, you do right. And they just told us to go outside into that ATM booth, right? And then go and print another ATM by ourselves. So I'm like, okay, let me see how they will perform this magic. And they actually performed the magic without any human interface, right? We printed another ATM, right? You don't need to go and change pin and do anything. It has done and the problem is solved. Now, as amazing as wonderful, for me, that was very thrilling. That I don't have to face a lady that will tell you, okay, wait, now calm down, can't you sit down responding to people, right? Now, 80% of customer service jobs are already gone by AI. It's not a prediction, it's a reality. It's not something that will happen in 10 years' time. Guess what? How many times have you called MTN customer service? They will give you 15 options. The 16th one will now say, if in all of these cases you have not been able to solve your problem, then you can dial 0 so that we transfer you to a human being that probably will solve your problem that is out of the regular problem that people solve. Now, I know of service provider, and I'm not going to advertise any of them, that I have interfaced with in the last 1 month. I have not had to make any interaction with any human being to make that service possible. That's people's job that they are losing. Please, has anybody ever gone to DSTV office before? Yeah. No, have you ever gone to NEPA office to go and pay for your own bill? And the woman will not arrive at 9 o'clock. She arrives, she's adjusting her bag and all of those, right? Guess what? Their job are gone, and we're not missing them. Sincerely, we're not missing them. All those jobs that make people feel important. Teller in the bank, that make you feel very important. You wear suit, you wear tie, you do, like that, just to go and collect cash and pay cash, right? All those jobs are gone. Sincerely, in the next 10 to 15 years, when we're talking to people like that, as an adult like me, and I say once upon a time, when you open accounts, you now go to bank, fill account money form. You start looking at it like you live in 1840. The reality is so strange to them because I don't think I'm not talking about the children that were born on Jed and the Dotan's generation. They will not know that there used to be something called bank. We'll be showing them a picture, black and white picture. I say this used to be Zenny Bank. They used to put signboard, the whole building, we call it bank. Because really, they don't have any business entry into building to go and do banking. That's the reality. How many of you have opened accounts with some of these mobile wallets? Whether it is re-platform pay, anything pay, all of them pay. Whatever that pay is, sincerely, and I told them, like, you start from your mobile phone, finish on your mobile phone, you have opened an account, it is working, your credit limit is above 10 million. What do you need a conventional bank for? Guess what? You want to borrow loan, you not speak, press another button inside that same application. They have credit, you have collected loan, no bank official, no account officer, no paparazzi, no headache. Technology. Now, as sweet as that is as an experience for you as a bank customer, right? It's a nightmare for people that are employed in banks. So if you are working in a bank now, I don't want your heart rate to increase, but your job is just about to fade away. So next year, you have a bank that have more than 10 million customers. You have just 5 people running the entire operation. And out of that 5, you have just 3 of them. 3 of them are systems people. People that when the system shut down, they will quickly go and people that when the system shut down, they will quickly go and ensure that the thing will come back on. This technology, take guys that will be there, and then you have managed all those risk analysts and those people are going to be making policy. So add together the entire 2,500 or 5,000 staff of Zenith Bank. In the next 10 years, you can cut them down to 1,000 and we won't miss them. That's the reality. Now, of course, next slide. So I'm going to, my time is up, so I'm rounding up. Next slide. All right. Of course, we have slow pace of innovation adoption by businesses, particularly. So I'm not talking about the only people that are threatening are not people that are looking for a job, but those who are currently employed. You see those who are running businesses, especially if your business is classified even as a big business. A lot of big businesses are threatened as we speak. You see all those logistics companies that used to buy big trailer, 450 trailers, right? Some of them, they are already bankrupt and they don't even know it. What has happened to them, they don't know. Now, some of those people that are okay. Well, let me break part of this. I think it's worth mentioning. Do you know that some of these our filling stations, they are about to lose their job, and they don't know? Unfortunately, all those people that call themselves independent major marketer and all of those that are threatening our life, right? Their own life is at risk now because technology is taking away their jobs, it's taking away their businesses. If they are not doing what you call energy transition as part of their business model, I know companies like Total, and it breaks my heart that it's the major multinational that are doing those transitions. The ones that have RICO, not the people that are MRS and not the people that are doing retail, that are doing the transition from fossil to renewable energy. Now, see, a time will come where your fuel will not be used in the way we use it. So those who rely on selling fuel to us and making life very easy for us, their own life will become very easy very soon. All right, next slide. So I said all of this just to say that we have issues, we have problems, and I said at the beginning that it's a no-brainer, everybody can tell the problem. Next slide. So what can you do differently, right? See, if you are going to survive, and that's why I talk about human being, so the user of the tool is not more important than the tool. And it's already telling, the difference is very clear now between very skilled, competent human beings that have access to internet and technology, and people that are unskilled and are very crude and they want to cut corners. They also have access to internet and they have access to this technology. Their output will make the difference, right? So what do? You don't have a choice in this age now than to embrace lifelong learning and skills development. I say this with all sense of humility. Everything they taught me in theory, right, as an economist, and when I graduated in 2007, is obsolete now. It's completely useless now. The only remnant of the value that my university left with me is the discipline to go to class at 11 o'clock and come back at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then be able to meet deadline with a very unreasonable human being that you have to work with, right? You see all of those things that we have to struggle and we are complaining as if our life is difficult. That's the only thing that is left for us now. That capacity to learn independently, to adapt to situations, to manage crises, to be resilient. That's what my degree has left with me, not the skill of it. In fact, what I learned in my MSc, if I give ChatGPT and say, produce this my MSc project, it's going to produce something better. Sincerely. No, I'm telling you the truth. It's going to produce what? Something what? Better. But if you take that something better and you put it side by side, give it to somebody who has never studied economics and give it to me, right? And ask us to make the presentation, you see that the difference is very clear. So I'm not discounting the strengths of technology, but I'm saying that for you to make technology work optimally and efficiently for you, you must make yourself a lifelong learner. It's not an option. So the traditional model of education where formal learning ends with graduation is no longer what? Sufficient. You know some people that used to tear their shirts. In fact, those days we used to pour people water. You know, when they graduate like this, it's a frenzy of a sort that all this our problem in this life has finished, right? All right, so today's work course requires continuous learning and upskilling to stay relevant. And talking about upskilling, you need to get Embrace the Future by Kunle Okomolafe. There's a lot of information in that book about upskilling. Please take advantage of that book. So invest in digital skill, leverage online learning platform, obtain industry certificate. We are in March, right? And this is not, this is just to encourage somebody. We are in March. This is March 2025. Right? And as at March has not even finished 2025. I've attended 5 courses. First quarter, right? I've attended how many? 5. And I have certificates for all of them. Why am I still learning? This is not some theory that I want to come and use to waste your time. I'm telling you about if you have to survive, right, in today's world. Learning will not be an option for you, it's a reality. You have to decide that you wake up at 4 a.m. Because waking up at 6 a.m. in today's world will mess you up. Because how do you now learn when you have to go to work, deal with family, and manage all this whole problem of the Nigerian economy, right? So what I'm saying is that learning will never end for you. That's the truth. That's the only way. In 10 years time you are still standing solidly. You are not threatened by the new invention or the new innovation. In fact, when they are looking at how to adopt new technology in Nigeria, I'm already positioning myself to be the one that will help you understand the Nigerian market, so you know where to put the new technology and where not to put, because that's what makes human being relevant now. I can't compete with people like Chris when it comes to technology and right. I can understand the place, so that when you are looking for somebody like Chris, you talk to me first, because there are 4 types of Chris. I can analyze them properly for you and give you the best one that will give you an outcome. So I will have to continuously what? Be learning. See, if I'm going to stay relevant in my field, I must continuously what? Learn. If your business will survive, you must continuously what? Learn. So that's 1. 2. Next, please. Leverage this, gig economy, for remote work opportunities. Time will not permit me to give you, instances into this, right? But I tell you, 2 virtual clients, and I say virtual clients, right? That means clients that are not in Nigeria, that I don't see physically in person, right? 2 virtual clients in 2024 actually paid me more than my entire annual salary. 2 of them. That's 1, 2, right? So if you put my salary in January, February, March, April, up to December, if you aggregate it, right, it's also not up to what those 2 virtual, I call them virtual, they are human beings, but they are virtual because I've not seen them, they are not in my territory, they are not in my environment. I'm saying you can sit down in your house on your laptop with internet, right? And you can leverage the opportunity globally. But for you to be able to do that, you must have solution to a problem that somebody is facing. You must have how to solve somebody's headache, right? And the person they are even telling you the problem like this, you are excited. When they finish, you just say, don't worry, we'll fix it, and give them terms and conditions. And indeed, you fixed it. Then you are relevant. Next slide, please. Embrace entrepreneurship and innovation. Let me just say something about innovation and entrepreneurship. There's a lot of misconception around this, so I like to strike a balance. See, entrepreneurship does not necessarily mean that you are the owner of the business. It's just that you have positioned yourself to identify problems perpetually, and you keep responding and solving those problems. Whether for your organization, for your family, for your church, for your institution, if you position yourself like that, then you are perpetually relevant, and value is currency anytime, any day, and in any location. Value is the only currency that you can spend anywhere in the world. And that is why if you are a person of very low value in Nigeria, you can't become high value in America. Right? But if you are valuable, whether in Nigeria or in Germany or in America or anywhere in the world, that value will be converted into the currency they spend in that place. You know why I'm so sure that if I relocate to America, I won't be poor? Take me to China, they are spending a different currency, I still will not be poor. Why? Because I will carry all my naira to that place? No. It's because I'll carry the same value with which I solve problems for people. I take it into all of those environments and I still stay relevant. So it has nothing to do with geography. And to be able to do that, you must be entrepreneurial. Some people have gone into business out of pride. Some out of laziness. I want to be my own boss, because you don't want to say yes to somebody. Unfortunately for you, right? What you could not learn in an organizational setting, you go and learn hard way. If God now help you, the business now fail, you now start from scratch, and then you now become your own boss that is a struggling boss. Right? All right. So please embrace entrepreneurship and innovation. And see, when we talk about innovation, everybody's always thinking technology, right? My simplest definition of innovation is doing things differently. Sincerely, just doing things what? Differently. So if I come here and we have a stage and we are doing this, yes, and we are doing this, we are walking and pacing down the stage here and down, all of you are sitting down, right? If I come the next time, I can decide to play music for you. And the slide will be going around, and then my voice will be talking in the background. Me, I will be here, leveraging AI, right? Or I'll be in my house, they will project my virtual reality. I'll be sleeping, you'll be seeing one of Dr. Olushola on the screen. We are just doing this seminar. It will achieve the same result, but we are doing it what? Differently. And the time will come when we don't even need you to stay here. We did this webinar and, online things, but it's not as effective as you sitting there in this place. That's us doing those things what? different. You would have just said on your data, click on this Zoom link, and I was doing the same thing I'm doing, and you'll be on your bed enjoying yourself, right? Next slide. My time is up. Okay, adapt to emerging technologies and green economy next. Okay, so here's my concluding remark. Now, the future of work presents two things. One, we have almost limitless opportunities, sincerely. Almost limitless what? Opportunities. This is the only age and time that you can do the work of 20 people as an individual. And this is not exaggeration. You, as one person, right? You can do the job that before now, 20 people used to rack their head to do. And they struggle with it. One person will do it and do it effortlessly. In fact, will not have high blood pressure. But to be able to do that, you must understand how that works and know the right tool to apply at every point in time. So this future of what we're talking about, which is already a reality, presents both opportunities and what? Challenges. So individuals and businesses must what? Take proactive steps. And that's the word, proactive. Not so when the thing now happen, you now be saying, I be like they say they want to sack people, right? And I always say this now, when they sack me for my current job, I have not lost my job. Right? If Veritas University decide that they don't like my face again, right, and they terminate my appointment, since I said this is not modestly, right, they probably have just released me into a new level of freedom, and I will not panic, right? Now, so how then do you get to a point? So you have both opportunities, you have challenges, right? So individual businesses must take proactive steps to equip themselves with relevant what? Skills. Relevant what? Skills. Embrace new work models and harness the power of innovative technology to remain what? Relevant. To remain relevant in today's world, you must leverage this, and we really can overemphasize it. And I'm sure when Chris comes with his session, he will show you some of those tools and some of those tricks that will wow you, and you yourself will be wondering, so this one is also possible. So those are the people that are going to be making us to become superhuman very well. So we're pursuing them. If you know for somebody like Chris, please put him in your network. If somebody said you should go around and meet people, if you have not met Chris, it's that man that is wearing shirt. It's our country director. He's wearing glasses behind. He's going to be taking the next session. Please hold this thing, right? The future and the now, it belongs to them. Next slide. I don't have time to take questions. Probably after the session we can take questions. Next. All right, thank you very much. My time is up.
Please, another resounding round of applause for Dr. Olushola Tosin. Please, is that how you will clap to appreciate him? Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be comfortably seated. Thank you, sir, for that thought you just shared. It's more than a thought. What you just delivered now, it's a revolution in itself. And I am sure a lot of us took notes. After the second session, we will be having the question and answers session. So please note all your questions down. We will attend to them. And before the next speaker comes up, one of our leaders walked into this hall. Very handsome. The air around him is contagious. For those who know him, they are already clapping. Yeah, we have no other person than Mr. Raphael Abejiri. He is loved by all. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for coming. We appreciate you, sir. Media, if you are ready, please. The next voice that will be mounting the stage will be the voice of the next speaker. So, media, over to you.
Creative UI UX designer with a broad skill set in web development, digital marketing, graphic design, video editing, and social media consulting. As a key figure at Jared Digital Media, he leads teams in crafting dynamic digital strategies that drive brand growth and visibility. His prior role as director of media for the Real platform saw him develop transformative online solutions that significantly elevated content engagement and brand presence. He is currently the country director for the Center for Real Impact, Nigeria. Ogee has collaborated with top-tier organizations such as House on the Rock, Medicaid Cancer Foundation, Kakawa Academy, Olive Prime, and Deans and Miles Real Estate. His strategic expertise has helped businesses build robust digital frameworks that generate revenue and expand their online influence. He is also a co-founder of Nivi Car Wash. His commitment to nurturing talent is demonstrated by his training of over 6,000 NYSC core members in digital marketing and social media management. Driven by a passion for technology's potential to address environmental challenges, Ogee founded Jair Recycles and Idoti Tech, ventures aimed at developing sustainable tech-driven solutions to tackle waste and environmental issues. With a background in dental technology and a certification in design thinking from Harvard Business School, Ogee's leadership skills were honed through his tenure in NICE, where he served in various leadership roles, including group president and zonal secretary. These experiences have shaped his holistic approach to leadership and innovation. Ogee is married to Anena, and together they have a son. He is an avid reader, enjoys gaming, and has a keen interest in technology and digital trends. With a resounding applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Ogee Chris. Ogee Chris.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Please, let's have your house seats. So I'm actually very shy to stand like this and talk. And that's because I'm not so accustomed to speaking like this. I'm more of the back-end person. So you can see the screen. Thank you. And let's just go home because most of the points I actually picked some of all those points. You get, I don't know whether he was in the spirit when I was doing my own. I was just copying and pasting. Okay, so let's just translate to the slide, the first slide. Okay, so as we wait for the slide to be up, and okay. Yeah, so but one of the purposes for which we did this is just that we're looking at nurturing the next generation. We call them nurturing Gen Next for a brighter future. Them and create a future where they can relate to, a future that is conditioned. When I say conditioned under the right sense, under the right atmosphere, under that right sense. And yes, I have a suit. Normally I like wearing jeans and t-shirts. I have a suit. So I just feel like removing this and just jeans and t-shirts and let's just be flowing. What's happening? Okay, so we're talking of machine learning and all those stuff and the likes. And for me, it's nothing to be scared about because the future, when you prepare for the future, you actually meet it at the right bus stop. For example, when Bitcoin was so cheap, people didn't buy. They just felt, those guys have come, this one, that one. Okay, how much is one Bitcoin now? Almost 100 and something million naira, just one. So I know of somebody that bought like 500 Bitcoins that year. Now the guy is a billionaire. So if he wants to buy any real estate stuff, all he needs to do is just sell one Bitcoin. So it is strategic foresight to know where the future or where the world is going to align yourself to meet up with the future. You understand? That's why we are doing this. And because I'm a technical person, I'm tempted to go back and know what is happening to this screen. I'm tempted to go back. Should I go back? It will not be long, just 2 minutes. So that's why we need AI to take. There is funny enough. There's a technology that exists now where I can control everything that is about everything that's happening without leaving where I am. all I need to do is impute the right gestures into the camera. So I tell the camera, when I do 5, I mean you should stop recording. When I wave my hand, start recording. So when I do like this, you switch over to camera 1. When I do 2, automatically the system cuts into camera 2 without anybody's interference. Nobody's there. So I'm staying on the stage and I have like maybe 4 cameras facing me. And for every time I turn to this side, this camera captures me. So I'm streaming without the aid of any assistance. So I would like to go to the back and know what's happening.
To get the right shot.
Inside you stop it.
I don't know.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. So part of the being, one of the things of being technical is that, see why I like staying at the back now. So this image is not a film. I generated this using an AI. So very realistic, right? Very nice. As a graphics person, I don't need to bother myself. Just tell it what I want. Bam! It is done. Looking clean, looking sweet. Next one, please. Now, I was preparing for this stuff, a kid stuff. You know, they do all this children's stuff, and they said they gave me a script. They wanted, okay, sorry for Muslims around, just pardon me. So they wanted Jesus Christ talking to disciples, cartoonish style, and I told myself, so I should start designing Jesus Christ for you guys, for and just enter the prompt, and the AI did this for me, looking very realistic. I told it, man, they're giving me white Jesus. Can you give me black Jesus? And what did he give me?
That's right.
Black Jesus. It's down. The black Jesus is down. Okay. So I did this image and I asked them. I asked the AI. I said, I want you to animate these guys. They're just too static. That's not black Jesus now. It doesn't look like Jesus. That's a robot. And these are other scenes that are generated by AI. So you could do a full movie with AI without leaving, your convenience. You can do a full movie without leaving anything, and there's evidence for that. Please, the next slide. Please don't distract that guy. Just the next slide. Okay. So there's one that's animated that I wanted you to put in. There's a video that's animated I wanted you to put in. Okay. So media guys. But I'll start praying for you on time. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so really, what is really machine? Okay, yeah, that's the animated stuff. and it could help me to just animate everything, the way Jesus is talking and animating just from an image. And I could do you a prompt of how it started. So there is an audio on this stuff, but don't bother about that. I don't scatter everything. Audio for this. I generated the audio separately, impute it, used another tool to get this image, and asked it to animate this. Now imputed the audio into this stuff, and it's enhanced everything for me. So I could also do it like in terms of promotion. It's promoting my product, and it can lip sync my audio for me. I could choose an African voice or talk into it and ask it to enhance the voice. So it's looking more tushed, more polished, and everything, and it does that. In fact, I've shot a video where we're in a marketplace and somebody's talking, and you cannot use the, those keke, napep, and all their whole stuff. You just take your video, put it into an AI tool. It filters everything, removes all the whole sound, and gives you only your own voice on the marketplace. This is hours and hours of editing. I know what it would have taken me to sit down and say, I want to clear, I want to do noise, this one, I want to do this one cancellation. For video editors here, the headache, to get pure, proper audio. And all these things are like in five minutes maximum. You're getting a very clear audio. I did this image in it did all this in less than 17 minutes. In less than 17 minutes. What would take me hours to animate on After Effects, individual characters and the likes, and the design and everything. And that's just the prompt I gave it. So there's a lot that can be done. Okay, let's jump into the main slide. Now, when we say, when a machine, talking of AI and the likes, and talking of the rise of, AI-powered jobs, and we're looking at data science, AI ethics, AI engineering, AI user experience, and the likes. Okay, the next slide, please. Now, the most, critical stuff to look at, and I have to shout what? He said, in the next 5 years, 170 million jobs are projected to be created, and 92 million jobs to be displaced, constituting a structural labor market that churns off 22% of the 1.2 billion formal jobs in the data set being studied. Okay, so I'm now wondering, next 5 years, 170 million jobs are projected. Where are you going to be? How are you going to position your skill, position yourself to make sure that you are amongst not just the 170 million jobs you get, but you are heading a particular sector or sphere, and you have influence in that sphere that can attract money to yourself. Simple. That's this, and this is by the World Economic Forum for their report, what their Future of Work report 2024-2025. That's where they actually said this. So it's mind-blowing for us to see that we're not just saying AI. Some people said AI is CCCs. AI is, just hold on. That's how they talked about Bitcoin. Now people are millionaires from Bitcoin. People are accepting currencies in Bitcoin format, payments for estates, for stuff like that. So how can we set ourselves, next slide, to be in this future, even in the now? And I'll read something to us, talking of the top fastest growing jobs. The top fastest. Number one, big data science specialist. That's number one, like almost 100 or close to 120%. We have fintech engineers, we have AI and machine learning specialists, we have software and application developers, we have security management specialists, data science or data warehousing specialists, we have autonomous and electric vehicle specialists, which is an area nobody is looking at. Where are the electric vehicle mechanics and electricians? And I will shock you, some of our mechanics and electrical people today are not prepared for the emergence of self-driving cars, electric cars, to prepare themselves for future wealth. And some of us here also that have money, you can start looking at all this also, because you don't have to be a specialist, like Doctor said. You don't have to be a specialist in that area, but your money can work for you. You get, your money can work for you, even if you're not in that sector. I don't know how many people are looking at that. AI vehicles powered, and they're launching into that. We have UI UX designers, we have delivery service drivers, Internet of Things specialists, data analysts and scientists, environmental engineers, DevOps, renewable energy engineers, information security analysts. And those are the top fastest growing jobs in the world. Top fastest. So you could be in your house and earn money without leaving your house on your doorstep. Right? Right? So in countries like Japan, where they're using drone to do delivery, and the drone is meeting your address, no human interference. And there's some companies, shipping companies, that it's all bots, machines that are lined. So the bot is moving from A to Z. No breakdown, no calling sick, no family problem. My wife did this one, my wife held me in my trouser, so I cannot come to work on time. My car breakdown, nothing. Self-automated. Who is going to operate those machines? People that are prepared for the future. And they're seated down here, seated here. So we're not saying that you should, I'm not saying you should leave your agriculture, leave your farm, but ask yourself, what AI component, what can I incorporate into my service that makes it automated, that even when I'm not there, it can self-serve and self-deliver. That should be the future. Are you getting it? Okay, so the top fastest declining jobs. Postal service clerks, bank tellers and related clerks, and he mentioned it. And this is also from the Future of Work report, right? So when you are going to the bank, I remember I also did an ATM card, where I just entered the machine and it filled my details, and the card was printed without any interaction, without any insults, without anybody checking my bank balance to see whether, sharp, collect my card, I'm going home without any queue. The world is coming to that doorstep, and we should prepare ourselves for it. It is not by prayer, it's not by fasting. Prayer and fasting they're actually very good, but it makes us to also realign and position ourselves. I think, that's what prayer does. Helping us to realign and position ourselves to where the trend is and where God is going to. And I will shock you to say that you will go to a church one day and pastor will not be around, and his hologram will just be delivering the message to you, and it will be as powerful as when he's present. It is true. Now, some people are saying, that's my big church, that's my big church. There are some churches that don't have the privilege of having, this kind of facility. You understand? Those are the churches that are going to use it. For example, people are talking of online service before COVID came. COVID was an eye-opener to everyone to see that so many things can be automated without you being there. So many churches that time, they were like, this online, no, it does not carry spirit, no, it does not, until COVID came and it hit everybody. Then everybody now started. See, so the thing is, don't try to meet up to the trend when the trend has gone.
Hey.
Are you getting it? I've never said anything. 2 minutes. Man. I've never started the slide and it's 2 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, next slide. Let's rush. Okay, so introduction to AI and its. So you have automation, efficiency, innovation, personalization. That is really. Next slide. So I know he talked of changing workforce, remote work, and gig economy. You don't have to leave your doorstep. Somebody was telling me she earns like $2,000 per month in this economy, in this tunable economy. Me and you are. Somebody's earning $2,000 per month. That's the least he or she's earning, and she doesn't leave her house. She doesn't change clothes. You get like to shop and sweat on Abuja or Lagos Expressway to work every day and come back tired and exhausted. And when something hits you, your salary cannot even cater for an emergency. You understand? Somebody's earning that in a month. So the future of work is transiting to remote work. My brother told me he also works in the fintech. So one of those days we called him, I think that was on a Wednesday. He said, okay, they work. He doesn't laugh. He said, everybody has wised up now. The cost of fuel and diesel is telling on private sector individuals. So why not stay in your house and work from home and appear maybe like twice in a week for the monthly reports and strategy meetings? Simple. So everybody's working from home. Like a serious tech company, not serious tech company. You get? So it's changing stuff. Okay, next slide please. Automation and job displacements. So we're going to have a lot of job displacement in this future of AI and future of work coming. We're also going to have new opportunities, and it's going to redefine work and how we do it. So it is good for us to know where the trend is going into, see how we can source out for new opportunities in that sector, align our skills to that sector, and try to revamp our service. Next slide. So the impact on certain industries. Now, people facing high AI adoption sectors in the world now, the IT sector, finance, healthcare, manufacturing. In fact, finance are taking it personal, because with AI now, you can even detect risk, fraudulent detection with AI. People use it to actually do that. They program their system in a way that it's more encrypted and help them to prevent risk and loss and all those stuff. In Nigeria we're lucky, nobody sues us. If you are outside the country, you have one small issue, they'll sue the bank, they'll pay you billions. The low sectors, and we are still trying to see how AI can actually penetrate into these areas. And I know agriculture should not even be there, because nowadays people use drone. They fly an agricultural drone, and it takes a picture of the landscape and sees where it needs, it has a way of mapping out the area, and you can see plants that are healthy or plants that are sick from that. So now you can now deploy that same drone, carries a special kind of fertilizer, maps that area, and sprinkles it on that particular area without affecting others. People are doing it. So when you are seated in your small cubicle in Nigeria, don't think local. Your mind should be global. Your mind should be, it's possible. So don't say, it's not possible. AI cannot take my job. Don't worry. Newscasting job. Let me not tell you. But you can sit down. I can put in news, and the machine here will just enhance everything. In fact, I can create my own special character with AI that looks like me, exactly like me, and put in a prompt. And me that is not talking, I'm not talking. I'm dressed in suits. I mean, it's only singlet I use to record the video. I'm dressed. AI does everything, clears everything up, and you will not know the difference between the newscaster and the real person. Like it's happening. Every system I use, most of them are adopting a special kind of AI into their future. It tells you how important and how critical it is. Construction, agriculture, AI-driven automation and augmentation. Okay, so AI is not just automating tasks, but also augmenting human capacities and enhancing knowledge work and expert decision making. So we're not saying that you should be slack or AI takes up your brain. You understand? We're just saying that it helps you. And Dr. Tosin said something that's actually very critical. You cannot separate the humanity from, you're going to define AI by that human factor. So that emotional intelligence, and that's why you are here. Because you give it the prompt, you give it that human perspective for it to use and generate what you want, not what the machine wants. So if you see my ChatGPT, it's looking, I need to see how my ChatGPT looks like. It doesn't look like a one. Yeah, because I installed some special tools into it that makes it look like a superpower. So you could generate images, you could do code, you could impute a document into it and ask it to do a summary for you. You get? You could impute a picture into it and ask it, please, can you create the content from this picture? And it does that. But the definition or the difference between the output is who is using it and how can the person use it. So after today, you can go and study prompt engineering. it helps you on any AI tool you want to use in this life. Once you know how to do prompt engineering, and we call it ACT, so you're imputing an action that has a context and that has a tone. Are you getting it? Okay, so I say act like an academic officer or act like a researcher, and give me what now? Give me a topic or give me a post that talks about AI and education and how we could effectively use it. I am speaking to a group of people between the age of 8 and 10 years old. I want you to break it down, make it simple, make it more practical. Now that is prompt engineering. All this English I'm talking is prompt engineering. No. So I'm giving it an action, I'm giving it a context, and I'm also defining basically the tone that I want it to reproduce the results back to me. You know, I've actually used AI to build websites. I just asked it. I said, see, this is what I want. I want a card-like image. So the guy gave me an Excel sheet that was bogus like that. Like, how can I code all these Excel sheets into a picture format? I just copied everything, pasted it on ChatGPT, put it in prompt for me, asked it, I want it, I'm using this tool. I don't want to pay for this tool. If you pass this boundary, I'm entering the paid region of that. I want it to be free. This is the tool I'm using. And it's generated a code for me. And I copied and pasted the code, and it was looking sweet. And the guy was hailing me, Baba, you did code. I said, yes, Nabi. You understand? So it's going, next slide, it's going to be critical. Now, preparing for an AI-driven economy, technical skills, soft skills, creativity and adaptability, and you don't have to spend so much paying to learn soft skills. Most of them are free. Like I've registered for so many free courses. Free courses like free, and they're very compact, not rubbish courses, free. So you are thinking of going into sales and automation. Then you should go and look for Salesforce. There is a Salesforce trailhead. So you can just Google that. It gives you a free course that you can take on sales and automation and charts and the like. You want to build websites, you don't need to have, in fact, the AI world, you don't even need to know how to code. Just know how to use the tools. So there's a Webflow University. They have a university. It's called Webflow University. You can learn how to build websites without no code experience, just by dragging and dropping stuff. It's simple. So it's coming to that, to that level where things are now automated. There's free stuff everywhere. Amazon Web Service. You want to enter into cybersecurity, there are stuff waiting for you in that line, and you can really, just. So you're going to need some technical skills, trying to understand how the tool, works. What works here, what happens here. You might not need to know how to code, like code. You get, but just have that technical skills, the knowledge. Also, soft skills such as you being creative, communication, problem solving, critical thinking. Because we are going to need that. Most of the people that are going to drive the AI workforce are people that can be creative and can say, no, I think we can add this and this and this. Okay, for example, what is the difference between ChatGPT and DeepSeek? There's nothing so much. It's almost the same AI model, but just some little tweaks and here, because somebody creatively just sat and say, no, I think we can add this to this, we can add this to that, and let's make our own model. And you're having something, wonderful. Next slide. I think my time is up. Analytical thinking, cybersecurity, digital. Next slide, please. So collaboration between humans and AI. So AI assists humans, humans train AI, and you have synergy and innovation. Do you get it? 3 things. AI is meant to assist humans. Who is going to power the AI with the necessary information? It is the humans, because you want it to help you, to do your work. So I tell people, the advanced form of Google is ChatGPT. Simple, because you can either use it or search the web, even on ChatGPT, and it gives you references. So it's not dependent on how critical can you be, how mind shifting How creative can you be to look at the problem critically and ask some particular definite, kind of prompts for it to give you that stuff you want? Simple. Next slide. Synergy and innovation. And innovation doesn't have to be expensive, as I keep on saying. So one of the most innovative things I've seen is that line that demarcates the road. You know those lines, those white lines that demarcates the highway. That is one of the most innovative things I've seen. I don't know what happened to that person, but that person is very innovative. So he split the road into two, and every car is driving on this side or on this side without. So an invisible white line separates the road, and no car is passing the boundary. Do you understand? That's a very innovative approach. It means it doesn't have to be expensive. It might be as little as a paint. Simple. AI tools to enhance productivity. So content writing, if content guys are here, there's ChatGPT, there's Jasper AI. I still have more. In fact, there's a PDF I have. PDF has like almost 1,000 plus tools for AI. Like different, there's free and there's paid. It gives you different options. Data analytics, there's Google Auto ML, there is Tabular and the likes. Next slide. For project management, there is Trello AI, there is Notion. You can learn some of all these things and become a god. You just tell them, I can sell a Notion template. I use Notion a lot for my work because it has a way of also helping you design you can also design your portfolio. You can design a project management scope of work on it that you can share it with people and they can see the flow and pattern. You get. And Trello also use this in the real platform where you can automate tasks, you can assign tasks to people and monitor what they are doing. So I don't need to call you, how far with the task. You just go and meet you. I'll just need to tag you on that task and ask you how far the whatsoever, how many percent done, and automate it. So every percentage you tick, it ticks by itself and says 20% done, 50% done. It's taken like that without me, the project manager, being there to supervise you. So the machine is by itself supervising you. We have marketing and design. There is Canva AI. People do that a lot. There is Hydra. There is what again? There is hygiene for video editing and the likes. And there's so many tools like that. There is Adobe Sensei or Sensei. Okay. Next one. Next slide. Real life application. And this real life application. My time is over. They're not giving me a hand again. Okay, let's go. Let's do like one or two. And so for people that are in product development and design, you have automated design, materials optimization, and manufacturing automations. Next one again. Next one. People that are AI driven, personalization and customization. There's recommendation engines. So there's an algorithm that analyzes your data and provides personalized recommendations for product content and services. So it means that if you are in this field, you can use data to ascertain what kind of product to churn out or what kind of product to sell. Are you getting it? Okay, let me break it down. If you have a business on Instagram, Instagram has an analytics tool that you can use to determine where your market is. What region you should even be running that your adverts in. So even if you're in Abuja, it can give you an analytics of who buys your product more, from where, and what are the age range. Now, I also mentioned age range. You can tell yourself, okay, can I do a business or a product? I have ages 20 to 30 buying the product more. I don't know whether they are Gen Z now, that's age, but I have this particular set. Can I make a product that is more attuned to them? Are you getting it? So you could use those data to make informations about your business, about your personalizations, and see how it works and it flows. Next one. And I think I'm going to, next slide. That's customer service. Next slide. Okay, go back a bit. I think I'll stop here. Leveraging AI for predictive analytical, and decision making. So we have finance, healthcare, retail. I talked of fraud detection, healthcare. Healthcare is very critical because nowadays there are now laser-focused machines or technologies that gets the right amount of cuts. When you're trying to cut incision line, that machine can cut a line without anything, and it can cut the line and suture it back without you having scars. Are you getting it? Those are precisions. Now there are technologies where you can immunize a child even while the woman is still pregnant. Maybe you saw a rare condition, you could do that inside the belly, like the child is not out. That's where healthcare is coming into. I studied dental technology, and there's a system we call CAD/CAM, where you sit down in your house, at the back end, you just draw the teeth and what you want to do, and sends it to the machine. The machine creates the replacement of that tooth for you, and you give it to the surgeon to just implant it. Yeah. That's where AI is going into. Nobody has your time again. So it makes, and if I tell you the process of doing that and how the machine has cut that time factor, man, it's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. So when you see someone using an artificial teeth that is like a porcelain, and most of all those allergies, golden and all those teeth, yeah, all those kind of stuff. Okay, and in retail, so predictive analysis. And if you have a business, learn how to query your business using AI. You can extract your information, your analytics, paste it on ChatGPT, ask it, please, can you give me recommendations on how I can sell better products and offer customer service? In fact, what you can do now, screenshot your social media page, not your social media page, not your business page. In fact, even if it's your personal, screenshot it, go to ChatGPT, upload it, ask it, this is my kind of business, this is what I do. Can you give me recommendations on how I can make my content more friendly to this age between 25 and 30 years old, and how I can make more sales? Give me key action points or CTAs that I can use on every of my posts. It will analyze or audit your social media account for you or that your business. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, National Director. I think he has earned the title of being called a Digital National Director, with all he has exposed us to. Thank you so much. I know we have a lot of burning questions. So if you have a question, we'll be giving you that opportunity to want to know more. But beyond this, I believe something has been triggered in us, that from here, we are beginning to work on our action plans. As I have here now, I already have action plans in line with the career I am looking at. In fact, after this now, I'm changing career. That is just the truth of the matter, such that I will still be relevant. I'm an economist, but by specialization now, I need to diversify. So that is the essence of why we are here. You begin to think, what's my next level? Irrespective of the field you have found yourself now, you can evolve. That is the essence of this teaching. You can be evolved such that you strategically position yourself and be ready. So if you have a question, can I have your hands up? We'll be taking one or two questions because of our time. We still have some activities we want to do before we wrap it up for today. And as you will agree with me, this is an ongoing discussion. We will not just have it now and then that will be it. No, it's an ongoing discussion. And if I were you, I will be asking, who do I network with? Who do I need to meet? Because part of what we want to achieve here is for you to be able to do a relationship audit. If they are not adding to you, they are taking away from you. Don't be in the company of those that will be depleting your resources. The resources are scarce. So do a relationship audit. Who are those that you need to bring into your cycle? It's very important. Do we have any question? All right. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Teresa.
Thank you very much. I want to thank our speakers, Dr. Tosin and Mr. Chris Ogee. Okay, so first of all, I have a contribution, and then I have a question. So Mr. Chris mentioned that it's about the person behind the AI tool. You know, it's not about the AI tool, but the person that is using the AI tool. That will determine the output to know what you're actually getting, whether it's something productive or something destructive. Now, I want to share something from the area of academics. Academics, even if maybe Mr. Chris didn't mention it, because we have academics here, but that's an endangered species in the work sector now because of AI. And I want to tell you that presently, maybe because we may not have that problem inherently in Africa, because Africans are yet to awaken, to the use of AI. But I tell you that in Europe, it's a major problem for academics now that majority of the literature that is being churned out by students are written completely by AI. Majority. That's an epidemic for them right now. That's the major problem for them now, that a lot of students just go to ChatGPT and they just put in the title or the theme of the assignment given by the lecturer, and then it just brings out information for them. And without editing, without analyzing, without reading, they just copy it and submit it. And of course, when you're an authority in your field and you read what is written by an analytical mind and what is written by an AI computer, you will know the difference. So that's becoming a problem. But I just want to maybe just sound a note of warning, because I know we will have a lot of students here, that we will still know, we will still tell, and we'll still be able to tell whether it is an authentic work or it is, an AI-powered work. Even the publishers now, people publishing, and I tell you why this is so dangerous. It is so dangerous because the textbooks we're going to have written, we're having a research going on now, and we have an output from the research. And I tell you, we're going to publish in a renowned publisher, what they call them, Taylor and Francis. And after we have done like a full year's work, one of the questions, after they have seen what we sent in, one of the questions they sent us, after they sent us a form to fill out, and the form initially did not have, okay, did you use AI? But after they read our work, when they sent the next form, they sent exactly the same question, but the only thing that was different was AI used for this work? And when we went to now start checking, we now had to use an AI tool, to check whether AI was used, because we had people from all over the country that contributed to that work. We actually found out that there were parts of the work that 80% was written by AI tools. So we had to sit down by ourselves because we couldn't, and these people have been paid money. We had to sit down by ourselves and we had to start to write those parts again. So it's a problem, because what will our children be learning in future? Is it the actual, so I'm just trying to tell out the good and the bad sides of this thing. It is very important that after you get an output from an AI, you don't just take it, you have to look at it again. You have to use, that's why humans are superior. You have to use your own mind, and your own knowledge to edit. So that's the contribution I want to make. The question is, okay, I have a business, but I have a challenge that over the years, I found that I'm not so interested in digital marketing, honestly. Like, I have tried. I have joined some, or done some courses, started, I couldn't finish. I'm not just interested. Is there an AI tool, please, that I can just, just snap my stuff, and then I just prompt it, and then it just posts and brings out content for me. Because you mentioned some earlier, I would really love to know, and I will be a good user. He said I should come and pay consultancy. All right, so that's my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Chris.
Okay, I think I'm not aware of any tool I could search. I know there's some stuff that do some marketing stuff for individuals. I know of an AI tool that does the design for you, so that it's not, because Facebook has its requirements for marketing. So most of you that do pictures, designs, and it's too much texted with words, it reduces the, Facebook has a way of killing that ads. It doesn't go as expected because we have too much words. So there's a standard recommendations for pictures and the like. I know there's an AI for that. But I'm not sure of an AI that does marketing. Although I know of one I've used before, a long time ago. It's called Steam Social, but it's paid. But they do the marketing for you, and your followers grow, by the day or by the month. You see that people are coming. They also help you to show your page more, so they're just like doing the talk for you, and so that you can also get visibility, But I think you should leverage on using alternative text. Try to see how you can improve your SEO for your social media page. So, and that is actually very critical. There's SEO optimization for your pages, social media pages. You can do that, and it helps your business to scale. So, for me, her first comment: AI doesn't make you daft. You understand? It's just enhancing your ability. And for people in the academics, there's a lot of tools that you can use to catch people. Yes, you can catch them. So you want them ahead of time. Any word, even if it's 2% AI, this is the amount of AI input that is permitted in this work. If it exceeds this point, your work will be cancelled. And in fact, no matter how much you humanize the AI, we will still detect that using AI. It's true, we'll still detect it. And that's why, one thing I said, prompt engineering gives you the correct superpower. I would have loved to do an illustration, but there's no time. So just open your phone, ChatGPT, and say, write me a blog about Abuja. Simple prompt, right? That's what the normal mind would do, and the normal academic person would do. I am writing a research on biological importance of one thing microbes. Just put it, ChatGPT will give them wonderful. That's a good prompt too, but it's a very bad prompt because it has no emotional connection or attachment to it. You understand? Everybody can do it. So imagine we're all students here with the same research stuff, and we do the same thing, the same prompt. We added the same prompt. It means all of us look as if we copied ourselves. So it's prompt engineering that makes you more human. It makes your work more emotional, more relatable. I don't want to say this thing, but there's a message I sent to some group of people, and I used AI to send it. And they were doing, ow. It was an AI that generated that. But I had to explain and pour out the emotion and tell it the tone now. As I said, ACT. I gave it the tone to reply me back. Don't reply me back like a machine. And I am allowed to query your search. So it gives me a result. I don't like this. Change it to this tone. Some of you just do first search and you collect it. But you could refine, and you get something that you think is perfect. And now start adding your own input into that stuff. Not just copying and you paste it back. That's why on Instagram, when you want to post a content now, even on TikTok, it will ask you, was it AI generated? Have you seen it before? Yeah. Some of you just click, no, don't worry. They know what they're doing. They're also trying to see how much of dependence are you on AI. And they also want people to tell that emotional story that can be attractive to people. You understand? There's a difference between a machine and... So the difference is that we have sense and we have a brain that is emotional. Machines are not emotional. They only feeded by what you give into it. So we have two forms of, and I would have started from that. So there's a real-time quantitative analysis and there's also a one that you impute data. So once you impute a specific data into the AI, it gives you back. So you tell it, once you reach an obstacle, turn left. That is an order you are giving it. But it's different from saying, this is the input I want to impute into you. So that when you see an obstacle that is not really an obstacle, you can navigate through it. Don't stop head on. Navigate. And that's why we have self-driving cars that use heat sensor to know who to stop for. So even when it's an animal, they can stop because you are emitting heat. And if it is something that is also like a fire or something, you can also stop because they are feeling that detection. So they use all this motion sensor and the like. So the nutshell is that be smart about using AI. Don't be too dependent on it. It's to aid you, not to make you dependent. It helps you to also think, and not just think, but really think well. And that's why in one of the barriers, I did mention that one of the barriers to AI is also the people using it, who want to get the right and correct mindset, of people that can use AI to better, the economy and not, use it at, our own risk. So for people in the academics section, sorry, but AI has come. The more you talk, the more they will still use it. But there are tools that you can also, incorporate into your academics that helps you to detect all this AI stuff. Because I know my wife did an AI course like that. Man, you're not there to use AI. Use that your brain. So they have some tools. So that's why we want more people to come into AI, because there are people that regulate the use of AI. So you say, okay, for example, image generation sites. You're not allowed to do pornographic stuff, even when you're entering your prompt. You're not allowed. There's some sites that they ban it. Once you impute it, they'll tell you this is not permitted. Retry your prompt again. That is somebody, because that person was sane, he put those prompts to stop that. Somebody else will say, my own, I love those things, and they'll create an AI that is perverse and the likes. So we need more people that can come in, especially also in the academics, that can say, okay, we can create this line of prompt or code that if our students use AI on any level and enter it, it detects it, then it flags it off for them and reduces the score for them. And that's what some of all these foreign schools are also doing also. They're having those tools that can be used to cop those stuff. So I think I will do some little research and send to you some of those tools that you can use. When you copy anybody's work, paste it inside there, it tells you whether the person used, how many % of AI did the person use. And if it's beyond your limit, you flag off the work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chris, for that elaborate answer. So it's important we know that AI is not to be used as a tool that allows us to be lazy, but it's there to enhance what we do. And just as Dr. Tosin stated when he started his work, that the digital age is about people and not machines, that no discovery will take place outside of people. So it tells us the importance of the use and abuse of the AI as a tool. And just last night, just to underscore what Dr. Tosin said, a friend of mine just called me at about 10:30 p.m. She has an assignment. The deadline was 11:59 yesterday. So I just said, send me the questions. So she sent the question. It's around organizational theory, the effectiveness of group and team dynamics. And I just prompted Deep Sea. I said, I need a case study. I need examples in Nigerian context. And I was amazed. Word limit, 1,500 to 2,000 words. AI gave me the first one. I wasn't satisfied. I launched another one. And at about 11:35, I was already done with the job. I got about 1,890 something words. Of course, I modified with the references and everything. I said to the person was now asking me, how were you able to do this? I've not responded because I had a very busy night. I said, just submit first. I know it's academically not encouraging, but at that moment, I had to leverage on AI. So AI is not a license to be lazy, but to creatively engage its usage. Any other question? All right, so we have a group task to gauge what we have learned, because knowledge is no knowledge until we have been able to take one of things as our action point that we are ready to implement. So permit me to welcome our CEO in the building, Ms. Antonia, the CEO of Evolver, to take this session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Victor. I want to sincerely appreciate our speakers, Dr. Tosin and Mr. Chris. I am going to be lying if I say I'm going to leave here empty-handed. And I'm sure the rest of you can say the same, right? So help me appreciate them. Like Mr. Victor rightly said, if we don't put knowledge into practice, then it's a waste. So our group task is just going to gauge what we've learned and how to practicalize it in the Nigerian context. So for this task, we're going to be in 3 groups. As we all registered, we're giving tags. So if you flip the back of your tag, you're going to see a number. That will determine the group you fall under. So we're going to have group 1 seated here. We're going to have group 2, members of group 2, seated this way. And then group 3 behind at the far end. Now, in each group, this is an opportunity for you to network, interact, and then the task is to pick an industry or business. And in that industry or business, you're supposed to come up with your own case study and decide how you're going to leverage AI or the current technological innovations that we've been faced with, that we've seen, on improving that particular business. And then at the end of that task, we're going to have volunteers present. We're going to take 3 volunteers from each group. Please, do we all understand? Yeah. Do I need to go over it again? Okay. So for each group, you're supposed to pick a business or an industry and decide how you're going to use AI, any AI of your choice or any technological innovation, to how you're going to leverage that to improve that business in the Nigerian context. If I use myself as an example, I'm a hairstylist. I run a hairstyling outfit. How do I leverage AI or any technological advancement or innovation that we decide to improve my hairstyling business in the Nigerian context? Do you understand? Thank you. So we can now start splitting into groups based on the numbers at the back of our tags. Group 1 this way, group 2 this way, and group 3 behind. Thank you.
Group 3, the winning group. We have already won.
Please, we have 10 minutes for this task.
Just give us the prize, we have won.
I should end it.
Some people are doing that already. They are not going to